How annoying is it when you type in a website URL and you hit enter and you wait and you wait and you wait? Are you still waiting? Hi, I'm Julia Taylor, CEO and founder of GeekPack. Well, if you were trying to load a website, you probably would have left by now. Slow websites are bad and annoying and they should be banned. Well, maybe that's a little bit extreme, but no one likes waiting and people are becoming less and less patient. That is why it is so important to have a very fast website. Did you know that 1 in 4 visitors to a website will abandon if it takes longer than 4 seconds to load? Your website should be like this, not like this. Having a slow website is bad. It's annoying for the user, and in our current digital world, every second wasted just loading a website, you are potentially losing customers and clients. Not only that, also having a slow website negatively impacts your SEO. Google has actually said that site speed is a ranking factor because it directly impacts the user experience. So you can see how important it is to have a very fast loading website, not just for your visitors, but also for SEO. So here are some tips on how to speed up your website. Tip number 1, hosting. Do not underestimate the importance of having a really good hosting provider. One of the most common causes of poor site speed that I see is not having a reputable hosting provider. So in choosing a host, you want to do your research. Not only for site performance, but also you want to look at their support, where their servers are located, and what their security is like. Even within different hosting companies, you still need to do some research to figure out what plan is best for you and your website. For example, if you have a really high traffic e-commerce website, that is going to take up a lot more server usage than, say, a small 4-page static website. So be sure to do your research. Tip 2, a caching plugin. So installing a caching plugin is another great way to speed up and optimize your website. But what is cache? Cache is a collection of temporary files that is stored by the server. And caching processes the information that is frequently used, meaning that instead of having to search through all the data every time, it can refer back to that temporary data. So let's apply this to a website. So when someone visits your website, the server needs to generate the files in order to load the page that they want to see. So imagine 50 people visiting your homepage at the same time, and the server has to load those files for each one individually. By using a caching plugin, it makes a copy that can be shown to everyone, so it only needs to load once. Now, each caching plugin has different settings that you need to configure, and every website is different in its requirements, so it can take a bit of testing to figure out what's best for your website. I'm also going to give you a warning that playing with some of these settings could break your website. So please, please, please take a backup before you get started. Tip number 3, optimize images. Images and media are one of the biggest drains for site performance. First of all, it's really important to remove any unused media. But also, prior to uploading that media to your website, you want to make sure that it is optimized. Here are the steps that I take when I upload an image to my website. Step 1, crop to the correct dimensions and save as a JPEG where you can. If the image has a transparent background or you need a transparent background, then you want to use a PNG or an SVG file. Step 2, run the image through Tiny PNG to compress the file without losing quality. FYI, Tiny PNG is a free tool, we like free, that compresses the image, reduces the file size without losing quality. Step 3, optimize the title for SEO and then upload. Once you've uploaded those images to your website, if you're still having issues with really large media files, then you could also check out the plugins Smush and Imagify to compress even further. Tip 4, install a CDN. Now, this is not always necessary, but a CDN can be another boost for your site's performance. So So CDN stands for Content Delivery Network, and it is designed to reduce the load on your server by distributing the content among a network of servers. It is essentially shortening the distance between your website users and the server. So this means if your website is hosted on a server in San Francisco and someone in London wants to access your website, the CDN will utilize the server in that area. Same thing if someone wants to access your website from Hawaii. It will use a server closest to Hawaii. There's less distance for the data to travel, and as such, it will get there faster. So those are my top tips on how you can speed up a WordPress website. I would love to know if you have any other tips to share. Please drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, if you're looking for something to watch next, check out my video on how to prevent a website from being hacked.